One of my favorite passages of the Bible is the story of Hagar. Hagar was the first single mom in history. And as a single mom and homeless in the wilderness with a child, was the first person to name God. And that story is so moving to me, and it's so uplifting, so encouraging to know that the first person in history was a single mom, homeless, to name God. So I drove from that passage when she was in the wilderness with her child and felt abandoned, alone, abused, used and abused by Abraham and Sarai at that time. And at one moment when she thought all hope was lost, was no future for her and her child dying of thirst, she was thrown into the wilderness with very little bit of food and water to survive. For how long, I'm not sure. All I know that she had no water and she had no food, and her child is about to die. She tossed him to the side because she just wanted to see her child die. And two interesting things happened. The passage before that, in chapter 16, when she first left, running from her abusive situation, and she had an encounter with God, she called God and she said, "The God who sees me. I have seen the God who sees me." And to me, there's nothing more powerful as a single mom to know that God sees me, God sees us, He sees everything. And then at chapter 21, when she's running for the last time with her child into the wilderness, and her child is about to die. Interesting to me, when I read that many times, in Sunday school, but this time something really drew my attention. The angel came and said to Hagar, "Hagar, I have heard the cry of your child." She was crying, but God heard the cry of the child. So I tell single mom all the time, not only that God sees you, God hears your child, He cares for your child, and your child has a future, because when we are in God's hands, it's not the main statistics that says the single mom children, are the most violent and delinquent, and they are in prisons. There's a future. So that's the passage that I have used in many occasions to let single mom know God sees you and He sees your child. So that to me is a very powerful story. The most sad, but the most powerful story in the Bible, and the story of Hagar for me.